Friday, October 27th. Welcome to it. The last Friday in October. Look at that.
That's right, it is.
Yeah.
But we still have Halloween.
Yeah, we still have Halloween.
It's coming up Tuesday.
That will be, here in just a little bit. But today, going to be cloudy, 20% chance for some rain, high 73. Tonight, we're looking at cloudy skies. Some more rain, low down to 45. The weekend looks a little rainy as well, high 55 Saturday, and then real rainy on Sunday with a high of only 48.
You have any favorite candies, Brett?
Brett Witkowski's in here hanging out with us this morning.
M&M's and Reese's peanut butter cups.
M&M's, plain, peanut, both?
Plain.
Okay.
I just picked up yesterday Reese's animal crackers.
What?
Yeah, animal crackers that have the Reese's peanut butter.
Yeah.
And then it has the chocolate on the bottom. So
Nice.
They could make a Reese's peanut butter cup out of a tire and I would eat it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Absolutely. We'll get to our preview of St. Joe Bears football here in just a little bit with Brett. But first, let's find out what's happening in the news this morning.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Berrien County's specialty courts are funded for another year now that the Berrien County Board of Commissioners has accepted state grants totaling $422,000 to continue running them. Berrien County Specialty Court Manager Ellen Moore tells us the Drug Treatment Court, the Mental Health Court, and the Swift and Sure Sanctions Probation Program have been around for more than a decade. She says they seek to address the individual circumstances of offenders who could avoid further involvement in the justice system with some outside help.
They do have very clear, what we would call sanctions for something like failing a drug test or not being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. So no one's getting easy breaks in any of these programs.
Moore says the mental health court, for example, gets an offender with a mental illness into counseling and on the right medications. The idea is to keep them from repeating offenses.
Without that sort of thing, we may not understand, those of us that are not in that situation, why does this person keep doing what you and I might consider to be the wrong thing or breaking the law?
The Drug Treatment Court is similar, seeking to help offenders get and stay clean so that they don't get into more trouble. Moore says the Swift and Sure Sanctions Probation Program puts offenders who could have gone to prison with felony convictions on a strict probation regimen instead. At any time, around 100 are enrolled in the program. Over the years, the drug court has seen around 140 graduates, with a similar number of graduates from the mental health court. Congressman Bill Huizenga is glad to be back to work now that the U.S. House of Representatives has selected a speaker after a 3-week impasse. Mike Johnson, a lesser-known representative, a Republican from Louisiana, has been named the speaker with broad support from the Republican caucus. With Johnson's role in attempting to undo the 2020 presidential election, we asked Huizenga if the hard right elements of the House forced Johnson onto the moderates.
No, not at all, because if you look at the folks that either weren't here or did vote for certification like myself, we are all very, very comfortable with Mike, and he is literally a professor of the Constitution.
Huizenga says Johnson is a good pick coming off several votes that saw better-known representatives rejected.
I had kind of predicted this, that if we didn't have any one of our sort of headliners, Steve Scalise and Tom Emmer and Jim Jordan, be able to take the helm here, it was going to be someone kind of outside of our normal leadership.
Huizenga says Johnson has pledged to ensure there will be no more stalemates that nearly shut the government down. In fact, he says the main job of the House right now is to get to work on appropriations bills to avoid a shutdown in November. And don't forget, the Whirlpool appliance sale is happening this weekend to benefit United Way of Southwest Michigan. On Saturday and Sunday, Whirlpool will sell off brand new appliances at discounts of up to 40%. United Way of Southwest Michigan's Jennifer Tomczak tells us they'll have everything from refrigerators to ranges to stand mixers.
It's an opportunity to get fantastic appliances at deeply discounted prices. There's going to be over 350 appliances, which are going to be there at the premises. A lot of people have experienced shortages in getting products at different stores, and in this particular case, everything is going to be right there, so you can get what you're looking for.
The appliances are all brand new. The sale will be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday at the Benton Harbor Technology Center on Riverview Drive. For an additional $100, buyers can have their purchases delivered to within a 15-mile radius. All of the major appliances come with a full 1-year warranty. All proceeds for the sale will benefit the United Way of Southwest Michigan. Brett Witkowski is in the studio making hand gestures.
I'm just following you like an orchestra.
One question for you.
What?
Is your refrigerator running right now?
Oh,
Because I saw it just run by. You better go catch it. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Is that even legal? That's not a joke.
Boo. Boo him.
Johnny's heard that
He
one
gets
before.
paid for
so
that stuff?
I had to give it to Brett.
We're just going to, Brett, it's just going to be me and you. We're going to let
Okay.
Ken go for now. We'll get to sports in just a little bit. Also, we'll catch you up with what's happening around the nation and the world with ABC News. Well, good morning, everybody that's on our live stream hanging out with us. We've got Brett Witkowski hanging out to talk about high school football, playoff football with the St. Joe Bears.
How do you feel about trick plays?
I think they're great.
See, I'm not a trick play fan.
Hey, at the end of the day, your job is to win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Denny Doc was a master at trick plays.
Yeah. Like, how tricky are we talking
He had
here?
some good ones. They usually were very successful.
Was there a foundation, like a common theme of different running and passing, just all kinds of tricks?
Well, unless you really had to pay attention to who he was putting out there.
Yeah.
That would be, and that's how most trick plays are. But
We,
he was probably the best in this area at doing those. It's not like that's how he won games. But
but just
in tight games, it'd be enough to get you over.
When
kind of like what D'Antonio did at Michigan State.
When I played against New Buffalo, they used to do I can't remember what they did it a lot. It wasn't even really a trick play. It was more of a trick formation where they would have like 2 down linemen, or maybe they'd have the center and 2 guards, and then they'd put everybody on the other side of the field and put like a bunch of receivers. So it would just spread it all out so that they could run all kinds of different things. And they did that quite a lot. It was annoying, though, because it was like, oh, now nobody knew. Everybody on defense was so confused about where to go and what to do and all their assignments. So they were able to pretty much just do anything.
And second question, how do you feel about sign stealing?
Well, I think the NCAA is just going after Michigan for the.
Do you think this was the foundation of what they were going after in the first place?
No.
They just find
I think
more
they're
stuff.
looking for reasons.
Okay.
Every school steals signs. Come on.
Yeah.
Is it wrong?
It's part of the game.
Yeah. Seems like it.
It's like CIA stuff.
It's like, it's like baseball too. If you think about it, when, that's why they do a bunch of signs to show you the one sign that you actually are supposed to see.
The activator. You got to see the activator.
But there's a lot of things going on at Michigan football. They got going over the guy they fired.
Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. Well, good morning. You can be part of the show anytime. You can call 925-WSJM. You can email let's talk at WSJM.com. And we're on our Facebook and our YouTube streaming live for all to see. You can watch. You can feel free to comment on what you got going on today. It is Friday. Brett Wachowski in here.
What up?
Hey,
How
Brett.
you doing, man?
Good morning.
So I know we've always talked about this. Got to bring you guys something today.
You don't have to bring us
Yeah,
anything.
you don't ever
I
have
know, I
to
don't
bring
have
us
to.
anything.
Ooh.
You brought the cookies?
These are the Mama Graziano.
Oh,
Look at
my
that.
gosh. Look at that.
They made a special delivery
You're
to
kidding
St. Joe
me.
for you guys.
Look at that.
That is, oh man, milk too?
Well, you
Oh
got to
my
have milk
gosh.
with cookies, chocolate chip cookies.
You are amazing.
There's actually a couple extra. In there for you.
Dang.
So Mama Graz made the special trip.
Oh, that
and
is
brought these in
fantastic.
for you two guys.
Is that
Thank you.
is that the secret to make the broadcast as great as it is every Friday? Is the cookies and the milk?
Cookies
Doesn't hurt.
and milk.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt. So we're here to preview St. Joe Bears football, playoff football, and of course, it all went
And eat
well.
cookies.
Everything fell into line. Where we talked about this the past couple weeks is where if all goes to plan, there's a good chance that St. Joe and Lakeshore would play against each other either first round or sometime in the district. But we've got it. St. Joe Lakeshore matchup for the first round of the playoffs.
12th time overall.
This game we were just talking about a little while ago. You know, you look back just a few weeks ago, the game went in St. Joe's favor. 35-0, right?
Correct. Yep.
So what is St. Joe going to do to kind of keep that momentum? Because they've had good momentum going into the playoffs.
Correct.
What is it? They've won the last
3 in a row.
3 in a row, and they're at home, right?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, the first game, with all due respect, Lakeshore could not have played a worse game. I mean, that I'm sure was their worst game of the year. They will not play that way today.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of turnovers. And I think they had 6. And when you have a lot of turnovers, things happen. St. Joe knows that. They've had a ton of turnovers in the beginning of the season. And so, I wish they were playing for the district title rather than first round. Be a little more hype to it. But at least the weather is not going to be in the 40s and cold. So hopefully there's a better crowd than it was first time because the rain and the weather kind of turned on that game. But for St. Joe, it really comes down to is the offensive line and the defensive line. If they can continue to do what they've been doing the last 2 weeks, and they run by committee with Chapman, Halstead, Cruz, and a couple other guys who do a really good job running the ball. So, for them though, if they put it on the carpet, just like they did against Manawan, they had a really good first drive going, fumbled it. Manawan hung around, had a lead going at halftime.
Yeah,
and so if you look at the scores to start the season, St. Joe lost to Niles 55-0.
right.
And then the next week, Lakeshore beats Niles.
Yeah.
And Niles has not looked back since. They're averaging almost 60 points a ball game.
Yeah.
So it shows you Lakeshore can play.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down to who's healthy at this point. St. Joe has really stuck with playing and starting 22 guys. The only guy who plays a little bit both ways is Ciccarella as a wideout and defensive back. They have really stuck to that, and that's going to be one of the questions we'll talk to Coach Pratley in the pregame tonight is, was it hard sticking to it when maybe you'd want to put some guys on both sides of the ball?
Sure.
But obviously I think it's paid dividends for them because going into tonight, they had one major injury on the offensive line about 3 weeks ago. Other than that, I think everybody's healthy.
That's great. And that's good when you to be both sides because you have that chance to really play the long game and you have the longevity and not cutting down on a lot of those injuries. We're previewing St. Joe Bears football. It's brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. Go to lasergraphics.com. And we've got somebody commenting on our Facebook page that says, jealous of the cookies. Cookies are my favorite food group. There you go.
Those are some serious cookies.
They're amazing. Thank you so much for bringing these in.
Well, and you thank Mama
milk.
Graziano for
Mama Graziano
stepping out of the routine and having her son deliver them to our house yesterday.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very nice. But the weather may be a factor, as you said. It was not as cold, but there's a good chance for rain.
Correct.
But with St. Joe being primarily a running team, this should work in their favor, right?
I think the worse the weather, the more it helps St. Joe versus Lakeshore, because Lakeshore will throw the ball more than St. Joe. But I will say this for St. Joe's passing game, it has gotten a lot better the last 3 weeks. Crossman and Lane have sharing duties back there. And a lot of times you'd like to have one quarterback, but honestly, they both bring just enough little difference to the table to keep playing both.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's improved dramatically on both of them is their passing. And the one thing that has also improved is the line giving them time. The other thing that's improved is the receivers are close to it. They're catching it. And they've made some great catches over the last few weeks, I think, on the offensive side. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'd say on the defensive side, they've really, I think, have stepped up too.
Yeah.
25 points last 3 weeks. A couple of those just been more big plays or against second units. But their tackling is better. And a lot of that's angles, as you know, Johnny, from playing football. The team tackling is much better than it was at the beginning of the season. There are a lot of solo misses. If I had to pick one area I think is improved, and this is my own opinion, of the Bears' defense that has improved the most, is the defensive backs. I think they have really done a good job with their tackling and on pass plays.
Yeah. And this is a good sign for the future as well, because we knew going into this season they had a lot of, I wouldn't say inexperience, but just a lot of younger guys that really hadn't had that varsity experience.
Correct.
And to see them playing the way they've been playing is a good sign for not only this year, but also next year as well.
Well, and they have numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Coach Prattley said last week they are going to dress 92 guys tonight.
That's fun.
Some schools would be happy to have 92 males.
And it was nice. And it was nice last week going into that game. The way that played out is they were able to get a lot of those younger freshmen and sophomores to get some playing time, some good playing time.
Exactly. And that's Coach Prattley does probably one of the best jobs of using that fifth quarter rule now in the state and getting those guys some quality minutes. But they still are an overall young team. Their offensive line, there's no seniors. It's all juniors and sophomores.
So St. Joe
and freshmen.
St. Joe, Lakeshore, one of them's going to win tonight.
Correct.
We assume. And what's going to happen?
Yeah, they can't have a tie.
What's going to happen after that?
So they'll play the winner of they don't like to be called Parma Western, but they still are listed that way. Parma Western and Battle Creek, Harper Creek.
How does that look?
Honestly, I think the winner of St. Joe Lakeshore wins the district.
Okay.
Just based on competition. With all due respect, the Interstate 8 conference is not at the same, and they'll tell you, it's not at the same level as the SMAC. Now, it doesn't mean the top team in the Interstate's not good.
Yeah.
It just, I don't think they play the week in and week out of the SMAC, because Lakeshore is the smallest school in the conference, and I think St. Joe is the second smallest.
Okay.
When you're playing Battle Creek's got 1,600, or them, Kalamazoo's, Portage's 1,300.
Yeah.
You know, Lakeshore's like 850, St. Joe's like 990, something like that.
Well, we'll see how this game plays out. The heater will be on. I know.
It'll be on.
Sure.
Probably not going to run a lot tonight, though.
No.
I mean, they're looking at 67 for kickoff.
Because you set it at a temperature 72, and
it's
then
room temperature.
It will it will adjust, right?
It's 72.
It's nice. Well, and plus St. Joe does have a furnace in there.
I will say I've been in there while you guys are broadcasting on a bit of a chilly day, and I will say it's comfortable, but it's almost to the point of I'm sweating.
Oh, come on! That's because you had 3 layers on you.
A lot of
Do you like
bodies
our
in
lounge
there.
chair that we have in there?
I haven't seen it this year. No,
there's not one.
Man, some places you're outside the press booth with a table. You got a lounge chair in this one? That's awesome.
We did do a game. This goes back with Phil's LMC at Waterville.
Yeah.
And they did have a lounge chair
Nice.
up in so I sat in there. That was great.
We need to get some lazy boys in there.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anything fun coming up on the coaches show?
Tomorrow we have St. Joe's. Coach Prattley will be there. Coach Thompson. How about Benton Harbor making the playoffs at 4-5? Sadly, they got to play a team. It's either West Catholic or Catholic Central.
Yeah.
One the same almost.
Really tough.
That's
one.
been to the finals, the semifinals, the finals. But Benton Harbor got in with the 4-5 record. They knocked off Constantine, which is Division 6, and that's their only loss of the season. And they're like ranked number 2. So Benton Harbor has the athletes to do it. It'll just be a tough task, but I think it's great for Benton Harbor. Then I know we have St. Joe Girls Golf coming on, which finished 5th in the state of Michigan.
Oh, nice.
Wow. That's
Great.
awesome.
So,
Well,
yep.
looking forward to it, and looking forward to eating these cookies. Thank you so
yeah.
much to Mama Graziano for these, and
Yes.
and Brett for dropping them off. That is a massive cookie, man. That
Look
is-
at the wrapping she even did for you guys.
Look
So-
at that.
It's like a Christmas present.
I
I don't
made
even know where to open this. Oh, there it is. Okay.
It's a-
Yeah.
I'll figure
and
it out.
she made you 2 of them.
Oh, jeez.
That's fantastic.
Man, I'm just gonna take little pieces the whole weekend.
No, they'll be gone by 9.
I have to pace myself. Got to pace myself. Well, Brett, looking
Thank you,
forward to
Brett.
the game tonight. 6:35 pregame.
6:35. You got it.
I
And
heard
we
you
appreciate all the extra advertisements too.
you got a really good person running the board back here.
You
in the
working tonight?
studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Johnny back in the seat.
Yeah. So everything will run smooth.
You got a long day.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna have to sneak a nap in at some point today. But your Lakeshore preview is coming up here in just a little bit. But that was your St. Joe Bears football preview, brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. Go to lasergraphics.com. Here in just a minute, we'll have that Lakeshore preview, and we'll also catch you up with news, sports, and a whole lot more. It's time to preview Lakeshore Lancer playoff football, and we've got the voice of the Lancers, Al Pashoka, and it's time to preview Lakeshore Lancer football, which is brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. Go to lasergraphics.com. All right, Al, just going to ask you, this is a rematch of a game just a few weeks ago where Lakeshore was not able to score any points. So
Ooh, yeah,
what is going to happen for them to flip the script? What are they going to do to make that change?
first of all, in high school football, and probably more so than in any other sport, once you get momentum, sometimes it's hard to get
Yeah.
it back. And I talked about this on the broadcast of that game. I was really impressed with the plan that St. Joe had, which was they were going to come out in no huddle, run straight ahead, go for it on fourth down, and wear Lakeshore down. And they went 8.5 minutes, 21 plays on the opening drive and really set the tone. And the Lancers just could not get anything going. And I think they pressed a little bit, trying to make a big play, trying to get back into the game, never got any sort of rhythm. Then the turnovers started and the whole thing snowballed.
Yeah.
But St. Joe had a great plan. In the first half, Johnny, they ran 46 plays. Now, some high school games, you don't see 46 plays in the whole game.
Yeah.
They ran 46 plays in the first half, really wore down the Lakeshore defense. And it didn't help that Lakeshore was not getting any first downs, not moving the football on the other end. So first thing is do better on first down. They got behind the sticks, got in trouble, had to throw a long pass on 3rd and 14 way too many times. So the start of the game, I think, is going to be critical. And in high school football games, look, it comes down to, and Coach Doc said this years ago, don't throw any chum in the water. And by that, he meant, hey, don't give them any reason to get any more fired up than they have to. Limit your mistakes. Try to get the game into some sort of rhythm where you can stay in it and play. So I think the first quarter is going to be really, really important in this football game. And you just never know. These are 15 to 18-year-old kids. Who's going to make penalties? Who's going to turn the ball over? Hate to sound like a coach, a little bit cliche, but that happens.
No, and that you're exactly right. And that chum in the water, those mistakes, that extra yardage, you're giving them all of this stuff, and it not only it kills momentum when you have that, but it also takes away field position by doing just those little things. So being disciplined as much as possible. But like you said, it's hard to do that when you're 15 to 18 years old sometimes, but you can try as hard as you can. But like you said, out of the gate, just playing well and attacking them as much as possible, but gonna have to have some aggression as well as some longevity to kind of get through some of that, because it sounds like St. Joe will probably do a lot of the same stuff of just running right at them and attacking the defense, because they know that, hey, it worked last time. Let's try it and see if it's going to work again.
And Lakeshore's banged up on both lines. So they know that. The Bears know that. They know Lakeshore's got a lot of kids going both ways. So you want to kind of pound it at them, see if you can grind it out. And I'll tell you, Barlow coming back has made a big difference for St. Joe. They haven't lost a game since he's been back in the backfield. Just a tough 195, 200-pound kid who runs straight downhill, tough to handle, and he can get you 3 or 4 yards on just about every play. And even Denny Canola can figure out 4 times 3 is 12, and that's a first down.
Right. That's simple and easy. So we're looking forward to this game. And then
let me bring up a stat for you.
You got a stat for me? Okay.
I do have a stat. I didn't see this in the paper. Lakeshore and St. Joe have met 11 times in the playoffs. Lakeshore has won 7.
All right. I love that it's the first round, getting that in the meeting right in the beginning, just right into the playoffs. Just, all right, you coming back to this matchup. It's the war by the shore, as people love to see it. So the stadium's going to be packed full of not only St. Joe, but also a lot of Lakeshore fans as well. So it's going to be a really, really fun game. Either way, the kids are going to have a great time. And like we've always talked about with this really isn't a rivalry. It's kind of a neighbor competition between friends. So it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
It's always a great atmosphere, and hopefully the Lancers start off a little bit better, stay in there, and get to the point in the fourth quarter where if somebody makes a mistake, maybe you knock them off.
You'll have pregame starting around 6:45 on 97.5 Y Country, and looking forward to it. And we'll see. Maybe, just maybe, I'll talk to you again next week, Hal.
Well, here's the weird thing. I mean, if Harper Creek beats Parma Western, Lakeshore could get a home game.
Wow. Well, let's not.
My wife told me. My wife said, "You're thinking way too far ahead."
let's not think too
No,
far
I don't
ahead.
even- All right.
Let's go with the game at hand and see what happens. But Al, looking forward to the game tonight, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, bud.
Your Lakeshore Lancer preview is brought to you by our friends at Laser Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Laser Graphics. Go to lasergraphics.com. Looking forward to that game. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm excited.
Yeah,
and I
it's
get
gonna
to hit the buttons, run the board back here. I wish I was there in person, though, to see that game. So you can be if you want to check that out. But if you can't be there in person, you can listen to the game right here on the cool part about the St. Joe Lakeshore game is that you can hear both sides, both perspectives from Al and as well as from Brett and Joel. So you can hear that on 97.5 Y Country and 94.9 WSJM. You can like flip back and forth if you want to.
That would be fun.
Just beep, beep, boop, up.
Yeah.
Anyways, so looking forward to that. But let's find out what's happening in the news this morning.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Here's some of the stories we're following for you today. The Michigan legislature is moving forward with a plan to give the approval to large wind and solar projects to Michigan Public Service Commission. That would strip away authority from local governments, something that's opposed by the Berrien County Board of Commissioners. Speaking at their meeting yesterday, Commissioner Julie Werfel said she was recently briefed on talks in Lansing that are ongoing. They were not encouraging. She said they had been looking for a compromise where counties would be controlling authority, but state lawmakers wouldn't hear any discussion of that. A Senate committee approved the plan Thursday afternoon. The legislation still requires approval in both the Michigan House and Senate. An upcoming project at Benton Harbor Water Plant will leave Benton Harbor with no local water for about 10 days. And some city commissioners aren't comfortable with a plan to instead get their water from St. Joseph during that period of time. Abon Marsh says the reservoir has to be inspected. It's a state requirement, but Committee Chair Dwayne Seats doesn't like the idea of getting the water from St. Joe. They're looking for alternatives, maybe Benton Township. The engineers involved say that's not an easy solution, probably not cost effective either. They're going to continue discussing the proposal. It could come to a full city commission vote early next month. In other news, Berrien County's specialty courts are funded for another year now that Berrien County Board of Commissioners has accepted a state grant totaling $422,000 to run them. Berrien County Specialty Court Manager Ellen Moore tells us the Drug Treatment Center, the Mental Health Court, and the Swift and Sure Sanctions Probation Program have been around for more than a decade, and they will continue over the years. The Drug Court has seen around 140 graduates, with a similar number of graduates from the Mental Health Court. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Sports coming up here in just a little bit with Dave Wolf. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the state with the Michigan News Network. What's your verdict on the cookie?
So good.
Mama Graziano
So good.
giving us those cookies. Those are the infamous cookies that Joel and all our broadcast team has been able to enjoy for many, many years.
Do they get them every week?
Pretty sure every home game they get a thing of cookies. I don't know about away games. Somebody might want to, if someone knows a little better than we do they get them for away games or not? I'm not sure.
That's good stuff.
But
and he brought the milk too.
They're great cookies.
That's so cool.
So big that I think he said she only fits about 4 cookies on a pan.
A sheet. Yep.
I'd like to see how big, because you see how big the cookie is. I mean, this bad boy.
It's like almost a half a pound.
That's a thick one.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought, you'd think it'd be more like a flat cookie. No, this is a hefty cookie.
Yeah, it keeps its height. It doesn't flatten out on the tray. That's cool.
That's like what you see in a magazine of like how to make a perfect cookie.
And there are a ton of chips in there.
Like that's about as big as that's almost like a biscotti. Like when you get the biscotti, the little strips it's like that kind of thickness. So I don't know how she achieved that, but it's perfect golden brown.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It looks so good. I don't even want to eat it.
You're crazy.
I'm still going to eat it.
Yeah, eat that
but
thing.
I look at it and I'm like, oh God, so good.
Eat that thing.
So anyways,
good.
That's why I got 2. One to look at and one to eat. No, actually, one of them is going to definitely go to Jocelyn. She loves the cookies as well. Because there was a game a while back that I was considering going to, but the weather was kind of not so good.
Yeah.
So I decided to stay home.
Yeah.
And Jocelyn was like, "You're just going to the game not to watch it. You're going for the cookies. You're going to get the cookies. That's why." And to hang out with Brett and Joel.
Okay, here goes Johnny. Johnny, first bite. Mama Graziano's cookies. Thank you, Mama Graziano.
So good.
We appreciate it. Like you remembered?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here comes the animal milk. Moo. There you go. Good?
Good to the last moo.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's a good cookie. All right. Still got lots of stuff to get to here. What do you want to talk about here next?
Brett gave me something on another angle on the U of M sign stealing thing that I think we should talk about.
Okay.
So I've got that.
Interesting.
And then let's see,
the drama continues.
Then we've got our Moody on the Market update coming up, where we talked about this earlier this week, and it's making good progress. U.S. Senator Gary Peters has a piece of legislation that basically, maybe it was last week we talked about it, basically says, hey, federal government, shape up.
Yeah.
Be better customer servants.
Yeah, because they said, and lead by example to, like, what was it, the veterans? There was the veterans.
The VA has really done a lot to try to improve the experience. Apparently it's working. And he says, you got to do that everywhere. And it's got to be mandatory because places aren't doing it.
Yeah, because it's not good when I mean, any kind of customer service, but especially like government customer service, when you have to call to get certain things, whether it be Social Security, veterans benefits, this, that, and the other, and to get either the runaround or not get to a person that can actually solve your problems. That can be extremely frustrating.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And very costly too, because those individuals that can't get those things, well, then they're losing money, essentially. All right, well, we'll get to that conversation here in just a moment, but thank you to everybody for hanging out on our Facebook, our YouTube, our X as well. So we'll get to weather here. It's going to be a bit of a gloomy next couple of days. So
but warm, right?
Warm-ish. I think today's the warmest it's going to be.
Okay.
A few scattered showers this morning, then becoming a mix of the sun and clouds. Temperatures this afternoon getting up into the low 70s. Now, late afternoon, early evening, we're back to rain. We'll continue to see rain overnight tonight. We're cooling off down to 45 and only 55 with a mix of the sun and clouds on Saturday. We'll see rain return Saturday night and Sunday. I'm meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Hope you're having a great start to the day. I'm already on a sugar high just from one bite of that cookie. Ooh,
it's good.
Man, Mama Graziano makes some great cookies. Thank you so much for giving those to Brett to drop us off. Give us some delicious breakfast.
Yes.
I think cookies for breakfast is okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's nutritious.
Wasn't there a cookie cereal at some point?
Cookie Crisp.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Cookie Crisp?
Great cereal.
Yeah, good stuff.
Not healthy at all.
No.
But tasted awesome.
Yum, yum. This is much better.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Brett. Thank you, Mama Graziano.
I got the milk mouth now, too. All right. Lots to get to this morning. You were talking, we were talking with Brett off the air about what's going on over at the University of Michigan. The sign stealing is another
this is
thing in the chapter that is the investigations that are going on.
They're saying it's not directly related, but we'll see. The FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, has joined the University of Michigan.
The feds.
The feds have joined the University of Michigan Police Department's investigation of former Wolverines assistant football coach Matt Weiss, who was fired last January following a report of unauthorized computer access crimes at the school's football building.
Okay.
So there's just all kinds of stuff happening with the football program. Deputy Chief Melissa Overton confirmed to ESPN the FBI's involvement, adding that the investigation is extensive, ongoing, and of the utmost priority. This is happening this week, and it covers multiple states, which is what kind of opens the door.
Sure.
And lets the FBI in. Weiss, who spent the 21 and 22 seasons with Michigan and most recently served as co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, has not been charged with any crime. In a letter to Weiss obtained by the Associated Press, Michigan Executive Associate Athletic Director Doug Knott wrote that the school had evidence that he had inappropriately accessed accounts at Schembechler Hall, which houses the school's football offices. And Michigan fired Weiss after he didn't attend a meeting to discuss that incident. So what you have here is someone accessing university email accounts without authorization, and it apparently covered several states.
Okay.
So the feds are involved. The FBI confirming this week that they're now looking at this. Now, again, a University of Michigan Police Department spokesperson says that the Weiss investigation is unrelated to the NCAA's probe of off-campus scouting and signal stealing that involves the program and staff member Connor Stallions, who was around the program in 2021 before officially joining staff in 2022.
So with all these things going on, I asked earlier this week about level of concern that we should have if you are a Michigan football fan on, what may happen to the team.
I think it really depends on what your plan is for the postseason.
Right.
The play, whatever they have as far as the final game, bowl games, whatever they might have waiting for them. Maybe the NC2A steps in and says, no.
Yeah. Because, it's happened when there's been investigations with some teams, and it's happened to Michigan on the basketball side where they said, hey, you know what? You can't be in the championship tournament.
Yeah.
So does something like this and all these different things that are going on, does the NCAA step in and say, hey, we know you're one of the top teams in the league. You guys can't play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can't win the national championship this year. That would be devastating, not only to the program, but to any fan and the players as well. Some of the players that have nothing to do with any of this stuff, they're going to miss out on having that chance. Possibly. It's not something set in stone yet, but that's something that could happen.
Yeah. It would be surprising if the season passes and the NC2A doesn't do anything at all.
Right.
That would be surprising. But what you make a very good point. If they do something and it affects the player's ability to shine in what may be their last season to get drafted.
I think I would rather have something happen and something be decided before the season is over,
of course,
before the playoffs, than to have them, go win the national championship. And then all of a sudden, a month or so later, they're like, hey, we'll take that back.
Yeah.
That would hurt more.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. But all these things that are stacking up, my level of concern is growing from maize to blue.
Okay.
So
There you go.
all
Or
right.
was it be blue to maize? Because now you're in a yellow.
I think if I'm turning blue, that's where I start to get
Okay.
flush and
All right.
concerned.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of them. It's somewhere in the middle there. Maybe it's both.
It's turning.
It's turning for sure.
Okay. All right.
Real quick, Senator Gary Peters, we talked about this, I believe, last week about how he's saying, hey, government customer service, essentially, you need to step it up. How's that been going?
Is that our Moody update?
Do you want to do it for the Moody update?
Let's do that.
Okay, we'll do that here in just a few minutes. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Breast cancer is the most common cancer in women in the U.S. Hi, I'm Mark Curtis from Lakeshore Napier Shell.
And I'm Ken Kosminski from the Buck Burgers and Brew in St. Joseph. Guys, we want to make sure the women in our lives get regular mammograms. That's why we become Real Men Who Wear Pink.
News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM and Signature Dealer Group present Real Men Wear Pink, an effort to fight breast cancer.
Guys, through October, Wear Pink as a visual reminder to all women over 40 to get annual mammograms. Tell them early detection saves lives.
Visit WSJM.com and look for our photo.
Real Men Wear Pink is presented by Signature Dealer Group. You've got their signature on it. And sponsored in part by Prebes Creative Woodworking, helping clients fall in love with their homes again, or maybe for the first time. And Lakeshore and Napier Shell and the wash stations of St. Joe and Stevensville.
Real Men Wear Pink. Through October, wear pink and remind the women you love to schedule a mammogram.
This is your Shamrock Impact Update, informing you of the ways in which Berrien Springs Public Schools makes a difference through innovation and creativity in education. Berrien Springs Public Schools offers unique alternative programming. The Virtual Academy is a K-12 school with fully certified teachers. This includes traditional, online.
You have a question for me?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So we talked about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Her net worth $1.1 billion.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's generating a lot more than that outside.
Yeah, it's a machine
of her revenue. But,
everything's a machine.
But inside $1.1 billion. So if you had the choice, would you rather have won the lottery, the Powerball or Mega Millions or whatever for $1.1 billion, or would you rather be Taylor Swift for $1.1 billion?
Tough question.
Because on one hand, you're showing up to the lottery window, getting your check for $1.1 billion. On the other hand, you're Taylor Swift. You've got $1.1 billion in the bank, and you're super talented.
Yeah, and she hasn't even hit the ceiling yet on her fame and her fortune because she's only 33 years old. That's what people don't think about is that she could be if she wants to, she could tour for the next 10 years with no problems. But at some point, she's probably just going to say, you know what? I've amassed so many millions and billions of dollars. I think I'm good. So, I mean, I think I'd rather be Taylor Swift.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's get back to the show.
That's a fair answer.
Well, good morning. When you want to know Southwest Michigan's business, you can find it at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. Our team of contributors always on it, talking about all kinds of great stories. We've got your Moody on the Move series as well and our awards program. We were just talking on our live stream. By the way, if you don't watch our live stream on our Facebook and our YouTube, you miss out on exclusive content. And we were just talking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, would you rather?
We've talked about Taylor Swift quite a lot because, well, she's been in the news a lot. But
and we like her.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Was actually just listening to her 1989 Taylor version, which that's a whole nother conversation. Is how it's frustrating. Got to be frustrating for her, the fact that, she has to re-record all of her songs because that other guy has the rights to all of her originals.
And I wonder if that's a first in music where an artist was able to re-record all their stuff, successfully re-release it, and have the re-releases be more successful than the originals.
I've not seen that in at least modern times. For somebody to take their entire catalog and redo it. Yeah. I've seen people do, and ownership of music has changed from people to people.
I'm very pleased that she has.
Like Michael Jackson for a long time had like half of the Beatles catalog.
That's right.
So it's interesting. But yeah, the 1989 Taylor version is out today if you want to You want to get your hands on it. It's time for your Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
In today's Moody update, taxpayers deserve better. That's the sentiment behind a proposed change in federal law to improve customer service that the U.S. government provides in person, online, and over the phone. The move is proposed by Michigan's junior U.S. Senator Gary Peters, and so far it's making good progress on its journey toward becoming law. Senator Peters released a statement saying the bill was passed by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee with the support of Democrats and Republicans, and it's now headed to the full Senate floor for consideration. Nice. This bill is sponsored by U.S. Senators Gary Peters, Jim Langford of Oklahoma, and John Cornyn of Texas.
So the federal government interacts with millions of taxpayers every day, but these interactions can lead to long wait times and poor customer service experiences. That's what Senator Peters says. He says, my common sense bipartisan legislation will ensure that agencies improve taxpayer satisfaction by implementing private sector best practices like callbacks and online services. Senator Peters' office says that the federal government provides a wide range of critical services through many agencies that can be pretty difficult to navigate. Those agencies that have made efforts to prioritize customer experience, including offering services that limit wait times and hold times, have improved their ability to deliver services for the American people.
And do you think at some point when somebody who's a representative of the federal government, you think when they pick up the phone, they're going in with the attitude of the customer's always right? Do you think that happens?
I don't know.
The customer is always right. Hello, how may I help you?
But it is, I mean, he makes a great point with this, and hopefully it does change, because there's so many times now the stigma of government-run websites or customer service call centers and things like that, that it's all bogged down and frustrating to where it's all like you're 100th in line or something like that. Like even when healthcare.gov first came aboard, it just crashed, and
crashed
they didn't seem to have the systems in place to make it
smoldering
work.
Computers on the side of the road there.
So it's certainly frustrating.
Anyway, so it got out of Senate committee, bipartisan basis, is headed to the Senate floor. So that's like fast. That something can happen within a year, and this doesn't take a year, is really fast timing in Washington. So we'll see how that fares.
Check out that full story at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. Your update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We will talk to you again on Monday. Have a good one, and enjoy football tonight.
Got it.
We will see how the war by the shore plays out.
Are you going to play special sound effects like Brett suggested? You should definitely do
the baby crying, and,
railroad train going by.
I'll see what I can pull up. We've got a lot of random things here, so maybe I don't want to screw up the broadcast too much, because I always like to make it smooth and nice. But maybe we'll have some fun with it. We'll see. All right, everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.